Kirsten and I have consummated our marriage.
A bone to pick with you after this. Wait, now look at me in my eye.
Keep it between us, long as we could.
So it's been a while.
Oh my God. I am happy for Shaq. I hope this means that things are turning for him and Kirsten. I think Kirsten is now all in. I hope Shaq is not out the door. And for Jasmine, oh my God, Eris's excitement at them consummating their marriages, though he benefits from it. It was good to see him happy for others, but hey, it is what it is. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. I'm so sorry my video review is up late. I've been very busy with work and life, and so this is why it's a bit late. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 15. If you're new to my channel, please leave a like and a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. So the episode starts with Jasmine receiving visit from Devon Franklin. I think the producers had got him to come down as an expert to have a conversation with her. She seemed very comfortable with him. The impression I got, my mind went back to, I don't know whether you remember season 6, Dr. Jessica and John, who ended up getting married. And this is the impression, the idea that I'm getting, that one day, it won't surprise me if Devon Franklin ends up marrying Jasmine, because, anyway, I digress. So they're having a conversation about her not wanting to be confrontational and why she hasn't told Aries how she feels. And it seems this is something that's from her childhood. She faced a lot of bullying, and so this is why she's never seen her parents be confrontational. So this is why she struggles to sort of tell Aries how she feels. And I'm like, I wish she had told him the truth, though. I wish she had told him the truth, because maybe it would have saved them all the problems that they're having. Because if she had been honest with him, if he really wasn't serious, by now she could have saved herself all the heartache. They could have said we want a divorce and moved on, instead of continuing to be in this marriage that's tearing her down and is not doing her any favors. So I don't know. I hope she takes it on board. She seems to sort of listen to him, so I hope she actually puts into practice when Aries comes. We then have Nicole and Chris having a conversation with Nicole saying, when I ask you for space, I don't want you to leave me alone, because then I might end up just walking out. I want you to be there. And it's sort of confusing for Chris, because he doesn't quite understand. You want space. I'm giving you space. You're upset that why did I give you space? What do you want me to do? And this is where Nicole has a problem. Nicole is trying to be on her best behavior, but then her other tendencies are trying to come out. And because they're trying to come out, she's going to try and use that excuse that if she lashes out at Chris, she'll say it's because I asked you for space and you didn't give me space. That's the impression that I got. I don't think it's anything to do with the fact that she asks for space, but she doesn't want him to give her space, because then that will bring distance into their marriage. It's just like, oh, please, make it make sense. So Kirsten has a conversation with Shaq's mom, sort of asking, how can I support Shaq? And it's like, apparently he was supposed to be going away for a work conference or recruitment thingy. He asked her to go with him, and then last minute she changed her mind and said she had other plans. So I don't know why she's going to the mother. Is she looking for support for someone to sort of get Shaq to forgive her, or is she really that interested in finding ways of making her marriage work and learning how to sort of support her husband in the way that he needs to be supported? I don't think she should have run to the mother-in-law. I think she should have had a conversation with her husband. Unless Shaq Kill is still very upset and doesn't want to say anything to her, I feel she should have spoken to him. If they couldn't reach an understanding, then she should have gone to the mother, because whatever Shaq is telling his mother, she's already holding on to it. Well, that's the impression that I got, and it's leaving a bad taste in her mouth, because she's always going to be his mother before she becomes Kirsten's mother-in-law, and I don't know whether Kirsten is taking that into consideration. I'm going to sound like a broken record. I don't know why Gina and Clint are still on the show, because I think they should have asked for a divorce by now. I think the only reason they're staying is, one, to promote Gina's salon, and two, they don't want to pay the fine, the $50,000 fine. I think the only reason why they're still on the show is, one, they don't want to pay the 50K fine, and also for Gina to promote her salon. Yeah, it was cute seeing them cook, but for Gina to say, oh, well, we're trying to do as much as we can, so that, because we've still got a couple of days to go before decision day. It's like, so you're just doing whatever activities you need to do, but you don't see any marriage qualities in Clint, because he told you you were not, you got the impression from his words that you were not very active, or you were not a size that expected after you started by going off on his ginger hair, and that's the end of your marriage. It doesn't make sense to me. I think Mavs need to do better. And I liked Devon Franklin's conversation with Aries, because he asked him, at your work, you put in a lot of effort, because if you don't put in effort, you're going to lose your job. Why are you not doing the same thing with your marriage? You can't continue to say, I'm not attracted to her. That's not a good enough excuse. You need to do better. You need to do, which is the truth though, because Aries is saying, I'm not attracted to her. I remember him being asked that, have you ever thought that Jasmine might not actually be attracted to you? Have you ever thought that? But you are mainly focused on how you feel and not how she feels. I think it's a waste of time. I think there are another couple that need a divorce. I think the group meetups are always very interesting because everybody gets to distress. But I don't know who made Nicole the third or fifth or sixth expert on this show. She barely is managing to control her own crap for her to start trying to control other people's marriages. Yes, it's important that somebody start the conversations, but I don't think she's the right person to be doing this. I think if Jasmine and Aries were in a good position, they would be a great couple. Even Clint is a great person to start the conversations. I think it becomes too confrontational when Nicole does it because she's trying to make it seem like she's better than. So because her marriage is great, everybody else needs to listen to her. That's the impression I'm getting. I like the fact that they did, get into a deep conversation though, regardless of that. And Shaq sort of expressed that he did suffer. I think he might suffer from depression or something, but I got the impression that he's contemplated, he's sort of had suicidal ideation, whereby he's had thoughts of ending his life. So it was nice to see the group talk about it. And because Nicole is in too much into everybody's face, I think this is why Kirsten didn't get an opportunity to respond once Shaq sort of expressed himself, and this then triggered Shaq, and he stormed off, and Kirsten had to go and sort of console him, which I give her credit for running after her husband and sort of speaking to him, because I think now she's realizing that Shaq is a great guy, and she's realizing that she might have underestimated him at the start of her marriage in the sense that she kept focusing on his physical appearance and not looking at the qualities that are the man that is Shaq. And so I think now she's realized that he's this great man. She's trying her best to sort of mend bridges and try and make sure that they're on the same page for decision day. And I hope it works because I've always maintained that Shaq is a great guy. And I think if Kirsten was really into this marriage and had put in as much effort as Shaq needed it to, they could have been a very strong coupling like Brianna and Vincent. And I'll maintain this. They could have been this season's Brianna and Vincent. But because Kirsten sort of beat this man down and beat him down and beat him down, by the time she realized what she had, I think it's a bit too late. Obviously, they go back into the room, people start talking, and then it's revealed that Shaq and Kirsten consummated their marriage, and everybody's excited for them. They are excited, which was amazing. And Clint is a great guy. I personally don't understand what Gina doesn't get about Clint, because Clint seems like he's easygoing, he's very accommodating, he seems like he's always willing to compromise. The fact that he's managed to go this long and put up with everything Gina's demanded of him, I have to give him a lot of credit. But then they then started, dancing, and I think the producers instigated the Jasmine and Aries fight because out of the blue, the instructor just came and took Aries' hand and started dancing with him, which then upset Jasmine, and she stormed off and she was like, "How dare you dance?" Or, with the instructor when I am here, I want to dance with you. You don't. It's like it's just a bit high schoolish, and so they then went home, and production is crazy. They had to show us that poor Aries slept on that little couch while Jasmine slept in the bed. How bad were things for them to do that? I don't know. Anyway, the next we get the experts come and sit down with the couples and just catch up on their marriages. Oh my God! I love the fact that they brought the big guns because they brought Dr. Pepper to have a conversation with Aries and Jasmine, and I love Dr. Pepper. I really love Dr. Pepper. I think she's very good at what she does, especially if there's conflict. She's very good at conflict resolution. Because I remember in season 6 when she was called out because Jeffy and Shanice had this big blowout and they They were thinking of calling it quits. And she was able to sort of get them on the right path. And they were so pissed off with each other that they wouldn't even hug. And she made them hug and move on. And I like the way she was able to tackle this, because the way Dr. Pepper deals with it is she's not confrontational, but she's able to make you sort of look at yourself and find ways of making yourself better, in the sense that Jasmine was complaining that she felt that Aries doesn't make any effort. If she doesn't contact him during the day, he doesn't contact her, she doesn't think he thinks about her. And the fact that she made it routine for him to say, you need to set a timer, and when the time comes, you need to send a message to Jasmine to say, how are you, how is your day going? That's it. And also when somebody comes in, you need to give each other a hug. When somebody leaves, you need to give each other a hug. And with time, that will build bonding, because when you forget to do it, you'll think, oh, I forgot to do something. And it will be something that will become a part of you, something that might bond the two of you. And I like the fact that she was able to ease the tension without getting them to scream and shout and yell and anyone feel like they were not heard. They both felt heard. They both were happy with the resolution, and they both agreed to participate. I think the couples this season, sadly, except for Dom and Mac, I think the Dom wasn't ready. I think the other matches were quite great had the partners been willing to do the work. I think the main problem is people are not willing to compromise. They come in with a list and expectations, having seen other couples in previous season and hoping that their marriage is going to be that. And when their marriage doesn't turn to be that, then they just decide to check out. This is what the impression that I was getting with Jasmine and Aries. I really liked the little scene with Kirsten and Nicole sort of trying to buy Nicole some lingerie. It was nice to see Kirsten try and give her Nicole tips for a change, because Nicole always seems to know everything. So it was nice that she was receptive, constructive feedback from somebody else. And then we had Clint and Gina meet with Dr. Pepper. I wish Dr. Pepper told Gina off, because everything Dr. Pepper was trying to sort of initiate, that sort of romantic, oh, Clint and I haven't done that, oh, Clint and I, she's checked out romantically from Clint. She's checked out. And the way she makes it seem like she's better than. And it's like, you're really not? Clint is the great guy. I don't see what you don't see about him. If you're that concerned about his hair, why not dye his hair to a different color? Why not be more open-minded? Why be so, oh, I'm better than, I can't do this with him because I don't see him in that light. I can't see. Are you dating somebody else already, or are you still interested in this marriage? If you are, you need to participate in everything. You can't participate in what you want to do and leave everything else out. And the fact that she said, oh, I like, to receive love through people sort of appreciating me for what I do. It is like, what? What do you do outside of your salon that we've heard about? That's all you want him to appreciate you for, that, oh, you're an independent woman, you're a hardworking businesswoman, you're doing great at your salon. That's all she wants to hear. And Clint said, he likes surprise gestures. And Dr. Pepper was like, okay, why don't you cook something for Clint? Oh, no, that's Clint's forte. He does that. And it's like, why? Are you really in this marriage, or have you checked out? If you have checked out, let us know, and let us stop wasting our time recording you, because this is not friends at first sight. This is married at first sight. Oh my God, I was really nervous when Devon Franklin visited Kirsten and Shaq, because of the issues they're having with communication, and I wasn't sure whether he would be able to actually help them. And I think he gave them the best advice possible. Shaq was sort of taken aback, but I understand where Devon Franklin was coming from, that you want Kirsten to support you, but you can't sort of set a template for her to say, I want you to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Tell her what you want her to do, and appreciate when she at least tries. Don't come back to her and say, no, that's not enough. I want you to do this. First of all, start with an appreciation and understanding that this is something that's going to build with time. You can't expect her to support you the way you want. You ask for support in certain things, and then you want her to do it exactly the way you want it done. And if it's not done that way, then you don't feel like she's supporting you. The fact that he went on his own to work and she still FaceTimed him, to him that's not enough, because he wanted a physical presence. But I would have appreciated that first, to say, I appreciate you video calling me to check on me, to say, are you okay? But I would have, next time, is it possible for you to come with me, because I value your presence more than I value the video call. And that's it. I think that's it. They seem to have understood it, and I feel like my heart is breaking for Kirsten and Shaq, because I think they have a lot of potential. I think they have a lot of potential as a couple. I know people are saying, oh, so and so is not matched properly. I think the experts matched the couples they had the best way they could. And so for the couples to not recognize the qualities in one another, I don't get it. It was great to see Pastor Carl because we haven't seen him in a while. So he met up with Chris and Nicole, and they were just having a conversation with Nicole, feeling like their relationship was one sided because he was having to do almost, uh, because Nicole felt their relationship was becoming one sided because Chris was the one who was having to support her all the time, and she didn't want to be in a situation whereby Chris resented her. Well, that's the impression that I got because he was always having to support her for everything she was going through, and I don't know how I feel about Nicole. I think Nicole is not being her genuine self with Chris, and I really am concerned that once decision day comes, things are going to fall apart because the way Chris describes her is totally different from the edits that we see on TV, and I don't know whether it's because the producers are just looking for the worst edits of Kirsten. I don't know whether it's because the producers are just looking for the worst edits of Nicole or whether she's actually that bad at times. But it was nice to see them declare their love for one another. I think they'll be okay on decision day. I really do think they'll be okay on decision day. We'll see how that plays out. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye everyone.